gonna look like Tony Hawk in a car with you. Elbow pads and everything.
I never started drinking coffee until my summer corn. I despised it.
I believe this interview's over.
I've got a hot chocolate here for Knable. I'm Yankee Shore, and this is Menches in cars getting coffee.
Thanks so much for picking us up. I don't know why more people don't ride this way in the trucks.
The word mensch, what does that mean to you?
Somebody special, somebody you want to be. You want someone to call you a mensch.
When people find out I'm an actuary, the first thing I usually get asked is, oh, you can tell me when I'm going to die. No, I can't.
Connor, what's your go-to coffee order?
Oh gosh, it's confusing. It is a skinny vanilla hazelnut latte, 2 pumps sugar-free vanilla, 2 pumps hazelnut. Yeah, really not so complicated. And it tastes really good.
Is this set for tall people or short people? Let's make it short. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I'm Bruce Huffberger, Chair of the Board, and it's my privilege to welcome you here this evening to come together as a community with friends, family, and colleagues to celebrate those who've made remarkable contributions to our community. Now, I'm going to stay on script because otherwise, if I start wandering, you'll still be sitting here and there won't be any food left outside. But I do have some personal remarks towards the end of all this. This year, once again, we called upon our leadership to meet extraordinary moments of strength, courage, and vision. Whether responding to global challenges or strengthening our community fabric here at home, you, our volunteer leaders, all of you in this room, have shown up with heart, conviction, and resilience. On behalf of the Associated, I extend deep gratitude for your unwavering service and dedication. Every one of our tonight's honorees has demonstrated an exceptional ability to inspire, to lead, and to connect with others to our mission of strengthening Jewish life and caring for those in need. You are dreamers, doers, difference makers, and you're just great people. It's great to see you all. While tonight we focus on the lay leaders who have been nominated for an award and those tonight have completed their chairmanships, I would also like to acknowledge our professionals who have partnered with these leaders along the way. We couldn't do it without you. Your mentoring, guiding, and championing their efforts has been wonderful. Your partnership is essential to our collective success. Now, and finally, to the families and friends who have supported, encouraged, and cheered our honorees, thank you for being part of our leadership today. None of us does this work alone. Our community is stronger because, because each of us and you, and together, we are building something lasting, something meaningful, and something deeply rooted in Jewish values and collective responsibility. Before we move to our next part of the program, I invite you to take a look at our evening's booklet. It's sitting at your tables or places, where you'll find more about the legacy of each and meaning of each behind each award, as the inspiring bio and including the inspiring bios of our honorees. Now, I'm very fortunate now, and my pleasure, to introduce Michelle Ostroff, the Associated Senior Vice President of Annual Campaign. Come on, Michelle. To pay tribute to one of our esteemed outgoing leaders, Ron Atman. Michelle?
I sure hope this is set for short people. And it's not. That's okay. You can't have leadership awards without honoring the campaign leader who works to lead us toward our annual campaign goal. It's my privilege to introduce someone who has been an extraordinary partner throughout this campaign year, our outgoing annual campaign chair, Ron Atman. Ronnie. Before our very first meeting, Ronnie called and asked me if I wanted coffee. I said, "We have coffee at the office," to which he replied, "I'm stopping at Starbucks." Now, any Jewish professional knows this is the beginning of a beautiful lay-pro relationship. Over the past year, Ronnie and I have spent countless hours together in weekly meetings, going over reports, reviewing donors, attending community gatherings, prepping for, and speaking at campaign events and board meetings. As we have just a few of those weekly meetings left, Ronnie looked at me this morning and said, "I really love doing this." And I have to tell you, we have loved having him as campaign chair. Ronnie has all the qualities of a natural connector. Yes, he seems to know everyone in Baltimore, and if he doesn't know them, there's a good chance he's related to them. But what makes Ronnie special is more than the breadth of his relationship. It's the warmth he brings to them. Ronnie's love for Baltimore is evident in everything he does. He walks into every room with a warm smile, a gracious greeting, and a genuine interest in and curiosity about the people around him. He always has a fun anecdote or a joke to share. He cheers passionately for the Ravens and the Orioles, and if you spend even a few minutes with him, it becomes clear that nothing brings him more frustration than playing golf and more pride and joy than talking about his family. At one of our very first meetings, Ronnie handed me a copy of It All Started with a Deli, the story of the Atman family. And I quickly learned that if you want to understand Ronnie, you have to understand the Atman family. Principles of hard work, community, family, Jewish values, generosity, and deep roots in Baltimore that have defined generations. Those same values are what made him such an exceptional campaign chair. They are the values that helped inspire our community to come together and achieve an extraordinary $28.5 million campaign. Please join me in thanking Ronnie for his remarkable leadership and in welcoming him to the podium.
I think I should quit while I'm ahead. Thank you, Michelle. And one of the greatest joys that I've had this year was being able to really get to know you and work with you on such a regular basis. So thank you for all you did to help me through this year. You know, people ask me, you know, what was it like being chair of the campaign? And I give them one word: exhilarating. And that really is the way I have felt, because every time I'd walk into Michelle's office and we'd say, well, how do we do this week? You know, what's on tap? To see that level in the thermometer going up and up and up, you know, is just a great joy. And it's a tribute to, one, first of all, the people in Baltimore, the people that are here in this city that are so philanthropic and so concerned about our community here and in Israel that they let us accomplish these things. But you know, it's just been a truly wonderful relationship and a wonderful experience for me. Seeing the strength of our fundraising efforts has been remarkable. Our campaign, we still have a month to go, but we're exceeding our budget in every way, and that is really a tribute to really the people at the Associated. The messaging that we did was so strong that it was hard for people to say no to us, and hopefully it's something that they'll remember for year after year as future campaign chairmen come to them. In addition to the dollars, one thing that I'm really proud of is we grew our number of contributors by over 20% this year. And that's just really, where are you going? Okay. You know, again, that's due to the hard work of the staff, the volunteers that we have, the people doing the phonings, the people doing the mailings. It's just really been great to see that come through and the message get through to the people in our area and in our city. We've had a lot of highlights over this past year, starting from the kickoff campaign in September. Every event that we had, we saw increased contributions from people that were there. So whether it was the campaign kickoff, major gifts, we had the event, the Joshua Society event with Dan Senor, where that night people who came into that room had already contributed like $2.8 million to the campaign. We left with over $4 million to the campaign from that one night. And that was, and it's all because of the work that we did as far as getting this microphone to work. That was special. The keynote event, chaired by a couple people that I know, who did a great job bringing in people into that, and all the events of the women's philanthropy, led by Karen Singer, have been successful. And again, all of them have raised additional dollars every time we had one of these events. So I would just like to say tonight, is about leadership, and I want to take a moment to stress the importance of leadership for the Associated. The award winners tonight, they're all on a path to become future leaders of the Associated. This means knowing the importance of raising the necessary funds to support all that we do, helping the elderly pay for basic needs, counsel people suffering from mental illness and addiction, protecting women from abuse, enriching Jewish life at 2 JCC campuses, supporting our family in Israel and Ukraine, and of course, answering the calls of everyone who's concerned about anti-Semitism in our area. We can't do any of this without a strong campaign, and we can't have a strong campaign without all of you helping us grow and encouraging others to help us grow. So I want to thank you for the privilege of leading this community's fundraising efforts. I look forward to seeing where our leadership takes us, and may we continue to go from strength to strength. But I want to thank, I could thank, there's a whole building of people here for me to thank, but I want to point out a few that have been so important to me. First of all, Karen Singer, my partner, in charge of women's philanthropy. That over 15% increase so far. We still have a month to go, but we're at 15% ahead of last year in women's philanthropy. So Karen, thank you. And then the Michelles, Michelle Gordon, Michelle Ostroff, they're my 2 co-workers who we work with every week and continue to work with to close the campaign out and make it bigger and better than ever. Deborah Carden, who was in charge of Major Gifts, who did so much for us there. Michael Friedman, who knocked it out of the park with his with all the designated funds that he helped us get a hold of this year. And Brooks Walter, who I saw here before. Brooks, who is in charge of our corporate giving, this year raised over $1 million in our corporate program. And of course, none of this happens without our leader, Andrew. I went on a solicitation with him yesterday, and I guess that was the first time I'd done a solicitation with you. And I learned one thing: you just wind them up and let them go, And I told him when we got finished, I said, if this doesn't work out for you and you want a job selling toilet paper, we'll find a spot for you. So thank you, everyone, for your help. Thank you for the honor of doing this. I do want to leave you with just 3 songs that a campaign chairman should know, and I'll make sure that Amy Polikoff gets it, before she comes in. The 3 songs are first by James Brown, Please, Please, Please. The second one is by Barrett Strong, Money, That's What I Want. And the third and most important one is by The Temptations, Ain't Too Proud to Beg. So if you keep that in mind, it's a piece of cake. At this point, I'd like to call up Jessica Gorski-Halley and Justin Harvey, who are going to present the Fred Walpert Young Leadership Award.
Good evening. I'm Jessica Halley, and alongside Justin Harvey and a committee of past recipients, I had the privilege of helping select this year's recipients of the Fred Walpert Young Leadership Award. This award, which recognizes 2 emerging leaders, is endowed by Fern Walpert in memory of her beloved husband, Fred, is not only a tribute to Fred's legacy, but also a call to action, encouraging the next generation of leaders to engage deeply and lead meaningfully.
Exemplifying Fred Walpert's leadership qualities of commitment, tenacity, and dedication to our community are this year's recipients, Nami Shore and Joey Fink. Both winners will receive a certificate and the opportunity to attend a National Young Leadership Conference or Leadership Development opportunity.
Tonight, we're proud to recognize Nami Shore as our first 2026 Fred Walpert Young Leadership Award recipient. Nami is someone who brings warmth, thoughtfulness, and intention into every space she enters. For many years, she has helped strengthen Jewish Baltimore through both professional and volunteer leadership, always focused on helping others grow and thrive. Many in our community know Nami through her 8 years at Aharai, now Naale, the hub for leadership learning, where she helped develop and support lay leaders across Baltimore's Jewish community. Today, she continues that work through her consulting and leadership roles supporting the Future of Aharai Fellows Program. Nami also serves on the board of the Max Jewish Connection Network, where she recently co-chaired its strategic planning process and has become a valued thought partner to both volunteers and professionals. One nominator shared that Nami brings fresh ideas, thoughtful insight, and a unique ability to help organizations better understand their strengths and direction. Professionally, Nami is the founder of Overbrook Coaching and Consulting, where she helps leaders and organizations strengthen culture and build strong, connected teams. But what stands out most about Nami is the way she leads, with humility, authenticity, and genuine care for people. She makes others feel seen, valued, and encouraged to step into leadership themselves. Nami, thank you for the leadership and heart you bring to our community. We are grateful for all that you have already contributed and excited for all that is still ahead. Mazel tov on this well-deserved honor. Unfortunately, Nami is unable to join us this evening, so please join me in congratulating Nami as we hear her acceptance remarks via video.
Hi, and good evening, everyone. First, I want to congratulate my fellow award recipients. Mazel tov to all of you. It is such an honor to be recognized alongside such an extraordinary group of people who have really found their own way to strengthen our community, and I'm truly honored to be among you. I also want to apologize for not being there in person this evening due to the recent loss of Yanki's father. While I wish I could celebrate with you, I am grateful to at least have the opportunity to share a few words. Long before I got involved in the community or understood the word leadership, I knew what it looked like. I grew up in Los Angeles in a home where community was always present. There were always people around our table, conversations about how to help others, and countless examples of my parents giving their time, energy, and hearts to causes and people they cared about. What they taught me, without ever saying it directly, was that community isn't just something you belong to. It's something you contribute to. That idea has stayed with me my entire life. It's what drew me to nonprofit work, it's what led me to study leadership, and it's what continues to inspire the work that I do today, supporting leaders and organizations in our community and beyond. Because if communities are built by people, then leadership matters. Not because leaders are more important than anybody else, but because they have an incredible ability to shape the experience of others. They create belonging, inspire action, and help people see what's possible. And they bring together people around something bigger than themselves. What's funny is that despite spending years of studying leadership and supporting leaders, I've never really thought of myself as one. So when I learned that I'd be receiving this award, I found myself asking, am I a leader? And the more I reflected, the more I realized, yes. But that's only because leadership is not a title. It's the choice to care enough to contribute, to step forward when something matters, and to take responsibility for making your corner of the world just a little bit better than how you found it. When I think about the people who have shaped my life, my parents, my mentors, my friends, and my incredible husband, they all share that quality. They saw something they cared about, and they chose to show up. I want to thank the Associated for this honor and thank everyone who continues to strengthen our community through your leadership, your generosity, and your willingness to show up. I am proud to be part of this community that reminds us every single day that we are not here simply to belong. We are here to contribute. Thank you.
Tonight, we are also honored to recognize Joey Fink as a 2026 recipient of the Fred Walpert Young Leadership Award. Joining Joey tonight are his partner Craig, along with family members, friends, and colleagues who have supported his leadership journey. Since becoming involved in Baltimore's Jewish community through the Young Leadership Council in 2023, he has consistently stepped forward with thoughtfulness, curiosity, and a genuine desire to strengthen the community around him. Joey serves on the board of the Elijah Cumming Youth Program and has helped create spaces for thoughtful and inclusive dialogue through partnerships with organizations including the Baltimore Jewish Council and Israel Policy Forum. Whether helping shape important conversations or supporting emerging initiatives, Joey leads with empathy, integrity, and a deep respect for differing perspectives. He has also recently been installed as a board member for Na'aleh, the Associated's arm for professional and lay leadership development. One nominator described Joey as an enthusiastic and thoughtful leader with a true drive to support and grow Jewish Baltimore. That spirit is evident in everything he does. Joey has remarkable ability to bring people together, foster meaningful conversation, and help others feel heard and valued. Professionally, Joey is a certified financial planner, trademarked, with Morgan Stanley, where he approaches financial planning through a deeply people-centered lens. His focus on relationships, trust, and long-term impact mirrors the way he shows up as a communal leader as well. A graduate of the Park School and Goucher College, Joey was also a two-time collegiate national equestrian champion, an accomplishment that reflects the discipline, perseverance, and focus he brings to every aspect of his life. Joey, your thoughtfulness, curiosity, and commitment to meaningful community have already made a lasting impact on Jewish Baltimore. We are fortunate to have your voice, your leadership, and your steady presence within our community. Mazel tov on this well-deserved honor, and would everyone please join me in congratulating Joey Fink.
Thank you so much for this honor, and congratulations to all the other awardees. I really just have to say, middle school version of me could not expect me standing here right now. Middle school me, this little closeted kid, don't ask, don't tell was federal policy and basically my everyday. Nope, we got this. But for a long time, on top of that, I'd internalized this belief that I was not welcome in the Baltimore Jewish community. Yet, here we are years later. I find myself doing the one thing I never imagined I would do, moving back to Baltimore, specifically Pikesville. But what was most surprising was how welcomed I have been by this community. Not just welcome back, but invited in. And really that's why I continue to be involved. Who else can I invite in? It feels particularly challenging right now. It's easy to surround myself with people whose algorithms match my own, people who consume the same information, hold the same assumptions, and see the world the same way I do. But if there's one thing I hope we continue to do as a community, it makes room for the people outside of our algorithms. Because the willingness to just reach out and simply invite a person for a cup of coffee and learn their story, that can change the trajectory of a person's life. And I know it's changed mine. So thank you, everybody.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sarah Macklis, and I'm the Associate Director of our Young Adult Division here at the Associated. It is truly an honor to present this year's Zelda Miller Award to Jordan Halley. The Zelda Miller Award recognizes outstanding volunteer fundraisers who lead by example and inspire those around them. And I honestly could not think of someone who embodies that spirit more fully than Jordan. During his involvement, Jordan has helped shape and strengthen the Young Adult Division in so many meaningful ways. As the current chair of YAD, he has brought not only passion and strategic thinking to our fundraising efforts, but also an incredible sense of warmth, thoughtfulness, and care for those around him. One piece of advice I've heard Jordan share time and time again with young leaders is simple: show up. Show up consistently, show up authentically, and show up as your full self. And the thing is, Jordan does exactly that. One of the things that stood out to me very early on in working with Jordan, was that he genuinely wanted to get to know me as a person, not just as the associated professional in the room. In campaign work, things move fast. Meetings become action items, phone calls become goals, and it can be easy to focus only on the work itself. But Jordan always makes space for real connection. He remembers details from conversations, checks in intentionally, and makes people feel valued beyond what they could contribute professionally. That ability to truly show up for people is what makes Jordan such an exceptional campaign leader. Philanthropy and leadership are ultimately about relationships. They're about creating a community where people feel seen, welcomed, and inspired to be part of something bigger than themselves. Jordan does that naturally. He leads with kindness, encouragement, and purpose, and because of that, people want to follow his example. Zelda Miller's legacy was one of leadership, generosity, and inspiring others to take action. Jordan carries that same spirit forward in a truly remarkable way, and our community is stronger because of it. So tonight, it is my pleasure to congratulate Jordan Halley as the recipient of this year's Zelda Miller Award.
Oh, now we got to adjust this up. Well, thank you. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you to the Associated, and thank you to everyone who decided that I was a worthy recipient of this award. That's especially following in the footsteps of the first recipient, who you may have heard of, the board chair, Bruce Hoffberger. I also want to acknowledge that this isn't the first time the Associated has been generous enough to recognize me, as I was fortunate enough to receive the Fred Walpert Young Leadership Award. Unlike that time, I'm actually here in person to accept it, so I really appreciate the do-over. This award means a great deal because of what it represents. It honors dedication to the Associated's annual campaign and the spirit of showing up. And I promise, Sarah, she and I did not coordinate that. I'm showing up not for recognition, but because you show up because you believe in something. Like most, if not all of you, I've given a lot of thought to my why. Why do I show up? What is it that I believe in? For one thing, and as many of you have heard, we're living in uncertain times, heard and certainly know. It's challenging times for Jewish communities everywhere. I can't just sit back on the sidelines and do nothing. So part of that is obviously the bigger picture, supporting our community in Baltimore and around the world. But an equally large, if not bigger part of it, to be honest, is our son Miles, who you may hear over there. It's about wanting him to grow up in a world where people take care of each other, where giving back isn't an afterthought, it's just what you do. It's about setting the expectation. I mean, the poor kid's only 5, and he's already seen both his mom and dad accept awards from the Associated. I should probably, speaking of, give some credit to Miles' mom, Jess. She's been alongside me every step of the way. For both of us, being involved and connected and giving back is something we feel strongly about. And the Associated has given us a place to do that together. And that's certainly another part of my why. Jess and I met in law school, and for a while, law school networks were our social life. But at least for me, that was never quite the right fit. But the Associated, here's where we found our people. Now, admittedly, if your goal is to get away from lawyers, getting involved in the Jewish community in Baltimore is probably not the most efficient strategy. Still, what drew us in is simple. We love being around people who genuinely want to do good. So more than anything, the Associated has given us community, close friends, a support network, and all the things that social media algorithms would otherwise have tried to eviscerate. And because the Associated does so much to support this community, there's always a need, and fundraising is the heart of that effort. I keep that in mind every time I make a call, ask for a donation, or talk about my why. So thank you to the Associated, to the entire campaign team, to everyone in this room who makes this community what it is. And thank you for this incredible honor. I promise I'll keep showing up.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Sarah David, another lawyer, and I'm here as a past recipient of the Harry Greenstein Leadership Award. It's truly a pleasure to be here this evening. Named for Harry Greenstein, who served as executive director of the Associated from 1928 to 1965. This award honors individuals who demonstrate sustained leadership, deep commitment to the Associated and its annual campaign, and a dedication to strengthening our broader community. Tonight we are honored to celebrate 2 leaders who embody those values in meaningful and inspiring ways. It's my privilege to first present the 2026 Harry Greenstein Leadership Award to Lauren Bronstein. Joining Lauren here tonight are her husband, David, her children, Max, Nathan, Hannah, and Jacob, her grandmother, Faye Adler, and her parents, Linda and Stephen Hurwitz. Lauren is someone who leads with authenticity, warmth, and purpose. Since first becoming involved with the Associated through the Young Leadership Council, she has become a thoughtful and trusted leader across our community. Many know Lauren through her years of leadership with Jewish Community Services, where she quickly grew from a YLC observer into an active and deeply engaged board member. Throughout her time with JCS, she contributed to planning, campaign efforts, strategic initiatives, and board leadership, always bringing those thoughtful ideas rooted in community need and mission. Lauren also co-chaired Momentum through the Max Jewish Connection Network, helping guide 19 women in deepening their Jewish learning, practice, and connection. What made Lauren's leadership especially meaningful was her openness and authenticity. She created a space for people to connect not only to Jewish life, but to one another. In addition to her work across the Associated Network, Lauren serves as president of Beth Tefillah Congregation after many years of dedicated involvement with the school and synagogue community. Lauren has a remarkable ability to build relationships, bring people together, and help others feel genuinely welcomed and valued. She leads with positivity and a deep sense of care for the community and its future. Lauren, thank you for the many ways you show up for the Jewish Baltimore community and for the example you set for so many around you. Mazel tov on this well-deserved honor. Please join me in congratulating Lauren, who will now say a few words.
I'm very honored to be here tonight accepting the Harry Greenstein Young Leadership Award. Thank you so much to the Associated, and thank you, Sarah. And I love that I get to accept this honor along a friend and fellow JCS and Beth Tefillah alum, Joel Fink. Mazel tov. When preparing my speech for this evening, I realized that this year's award ceremony fell on the very same parsha as last year's. That struck me because one of the things I love most about Judaism is the rhythm of returning to the same Torah portion year after year. The words themselves never change, yet somehow we do. Depending on where we are in life, the very same parsha can suddenly speak to us in a completely different way. Rabbi Sachs wrote, "Time and again, in the midst of troubled times or facing difficult decisions, I found the words of the weekly parsha giving me guidance. Torah is a commentary on life, and life is a commentary on Torah. Together they constitute a conversation, each shedding light on the other." I think that captures that beautifully why the Torah continues to feel alive and relevant thousands of years later. We return to the same words, but with new experiences, new responsibilities, and new perspectives. And in doing so, we become part of an unbroken chain, stretched across generations, something that has deeply shaped my sense of responsibility to community and giving back. In reflecting on this week's Parsha, Rabbi Sachs shares the story of Alfred Nobel, the man who the Nobel Prize is named. In 1888, Nobel opened the newspaper one morning only to discover that it had mistakenly published his obituary instead of his late brother's. The obituary described him as the Dynamite King, a man who made his fortune from explosives. Nobel was horrified. He realized that if he had died at that moment, that would be his legacy. That experience changed him. He decided to dedicate his fortune towards creating the Nobel Prizes, honoring those who contributed to humanity through science, literature, medicine, and peace. The story forces us to ask ourselves an important question. What do we want to be remembered for? For me, giving back has always felt less like a choice and more like a responsibility. I was blessed to be born into circumstances that gave me opportunities, support, and community. And I believe deeply that those blessings come with an obligation to help others. But giving back can mean different things. Through my experiences, I've learned that community is built both in the big moments and in the small, often unseen ones. On the board at JCS, I learned the beauty of a truly working board and the power of people coming together with a shared purpose to help our community. As a co-chair for the Network's Momentum cohort, I learned the importance of vulnerability and that when we share part of ourselves, honestly, we can gain closeness, perspective, and connection with others. Through my work on the board at BT's school, I saw firsthand how meaningful change often comes not from the glamorous moments, but from countless hours of difficult and sometimes invisible work done for the betterment of our children and our future. And now, in my current role as the first woman and youngest president of Beth-el Congregation, I've experienced both the enormous privilege and immense challenge of leadership. Many people warned me how demanding this role would be. And of course, there are endless jokes about being a shul president. But like so much in life, you can hear advice hundreds of times and still not truly understand it until you're living it yourself, until you're sitting through the late night meetings, navigating difficult decisions, and being pulled in many different directions, carrying the weight and the responsibility of the community you care deeply about. And then you think, why didn't anyone warn me? Before realizing that everyone did. But despite the challenges, this role has been one of the most meaningful and rewarding experiences of my life. My mom always says, and I believe this reflects one of Judaism's greatest values, that when you give, you get so much more. I found that to be profoundly true. Community involvement has given me purpose, perspective, growth, and a deeper sense of belonging. Leadership means refusing to remain passive when something matters. It means recognizing that if we care about our community, we each have a responsibility to shape it. That value, that belief that each of us has the ability and responsibility to contribute, is what continues to drive my involvement in community life. I want to thank my family for their constant encouragement, and for my parents who modeled for me what it means to give back and to lead with generosity and commitment. I want to thank my husband for his unwavering support through the many hours and responsibilities that come with communal work. And most importantly, I want to thank my children who have sacrificed time with me and have shown patience and understanding along the way. I hope that one day you will look back and feel proud, not only of the roles that I've held, but of the values behind them. Thank you.
It is also my honor to present the 2026 Harry Greenstein Leadership Award to Joel Fink. Joining Joel tonight are his wife, Chantel, their children, Abrielle and Sammy, along with family members, friends, and colleagues who have supported his leadership journey over the years. Joel is someone who has dedicated countless hours and tremendous energy and genuine heart to strengthening Jewish Baltimore. He is a leader who understands the importance of community, relationships, and showing up consistently for the people and organizations that matter most. Joel first became involved with the Associated through the Young Leadership Council, and over the years, his leadership has continued to grow across many areas of the system. Most recently, he served as chair of the Jewish Community Services Board, helping guide the agency with thoughtfulness, compassion, and a clear commitment to its mission. In addition to JCS, Joel has chaired Impact and the Planned Giving Roundtable, and has served in leadership roles connected to campaign, planning, and leadership development. One nominator described Joel as a consummate leader, someone who leads by example with both his time and his generosity, and who has the rare ability to see both the big picture and the small details that matter. What stands out most about Joel is the way he approaches leadership as a true partner. He is collaborative, thoughtful, and deeply supportive of both volunteer and professional leadership. People trust Joel because he listens carefully, leads with integrity and compassion, and always keeps the good of the community at the center of his work. Professionally, Joel is a senior vice president and financial advisor with Morgan Stanley, where he has spent more than 2 decades helping individuals and families plan thoughtfully for their futures. Joel is also my neighbor in Towson, so it's wonderful to be here to present this to him. Joel, thank you for your leadership, your partnership, and your commitment to our community. We are all grateful that you have contributed and proud to honor you tonight. Mazel tov on this well-deserved recognition. Please join me in congratulating Joel Fink.
Thank you to Sarah for introducing me, and congratulations to Lauren and the other award winners here tonight. It's an honor to be among you. So I'm here tonight because I believe I'm the luckiest man alive. I'm lucky to be married to my best friend and to have the two most amazing children in the history of children. I'm lucky to have found a career where I get to help people plan for the future and use their resources to pursue what matters most to them. And I'm lucky to have been raised here in Baltimore in a Jewish community that shows what it means to take care of each other. What drives me to be involved are Jewish values that were instilled early and reinforced often. Emet, integrity; chesed, compassion; tikkun olam, making the world a better place; and arivut, collective responsibility. These values are why the associated community matters so much to me. For almost 20 years, I've been blessed to witness the power of our system up close. I've been on the board of JCS for 17 years, where I've seen firsthand how we help people here in Baltimore at every age and every stage move forward with dignity and independence. And through several federated missions to Israel, I've come to appreciate our global reach through our work in Ashkelon and with our Israeli partners. That's why I give my time, my resources, and my leadership, because I believe deeply in what we do, and I feel a responsibility to give all I can in any way that I can. I remind my kids often how fortunate we are for our health, for our family, and for our opportunity to give back. And I hope that this recognition inspires them to step up and lead when their time comes. I'm also keenly aware that I'm standing here because others have encouraged me, guided me, supported me, and led by example. Thank you to my beautiful wife, Chantel. Your love and steady support are the reason why I'm here tonight. Thank you to my wonderful children, Albie and Sammy, for continually motivating me and helping me keep things in perspective. Thank you to my partner, mentor, my friend, Maury Zolette, who first encouraged my involvement and has modeled decades of true commitment to our community. And finally, thank you to the many incredible professional partners I've had the privilege to work with all these years. To be in this room surrounded by so many leaders who have shown me the way is a privilege. I'm deeply grateful for this recognition, and even more grateful for the opportunity to continue serving, learning, and leading alongside of all of you. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Andrew Kushner said to me when we first were gathering out there, this is one of his favorite nights, and I am sure you all feel the same. It is my honor and privilege to present the Joyous Rosenberg Memorial Award. Our committee consists of the incredible winners of this award for the past 40 years. Yet this award was established by the friends and mentees of Joyous Rosenberg, who have all passed on, but attributed their Jewish heart and involvement with the Associated to the unwavering dedication, extraordinary commitment to philanthropy, and role modeling of this beautiful mensch of a man. Joyous believed deeply in the power of relationships, in bringing people into meaningful communal work, and in leading not simply through words, but through action, generosity, and example. This award recognizes someone whose sustained involvement in the Associated's annual campaign and broader communal life inspires others to engage, to give, and to lead. Tonight, it is truly a pleasure to recognize someone who embodies those values completely. Ari Abramson. Joining Ari tonight are his wife, Sarah, their children, Ellie and Henry. I cannot not say something about Bob and Vivian Mannequin, two of my role models. And of course, many colleagues and fellow leaders who have had the privilege of working alongside him over the years. Ari is one of those people whose love for this community is unmistakable. He leads with humility, authenticity, and an incredible generosity of spirit. He is thoughtful, collaborative, and deeply interested in helping Jewish Baltimore not only succeed, but thrive for generations to come, for Henry and Ellie and their children. A beautiful native, Ari's connection to the Associated began early and has continued to grow steadily over this time. From his involvement in the Young Adult Division and Young Leadership Council, to leadership missions in Israel, to his many volunteer roles across the system, Ari has consistently stepped forward whenever leadership and vision were needed. One of Ari's most remarkable accomplishments has been the creation and leadership of the Leave Note Society. Ari saw an opportunity to engage and inspire real estate professionals in a new and meaningful way, and then did what great leaders do. He brought the vision to life. As the founding chair of the Leave Note Society, Ari helped develop and launch the first formal giving level recognizing real estate professionals committed to supporting our community through philanthropy and leadership. In just a few short years, that effort has already helped grow both participation and giving within our campaign. But what makes Ari's leadership so special is not simply the ideas he brings forward. It is the way he brings people with him. Ari has an incredible ability to build relationships, encourage participation, and help others feel connected to something larger than themselves, just like Joyce Rosenberg. Whether through the Leave Note Society, the Real Estate Industry Group, Chai, Associated Jewish Charities, or the Associated Board itself, Ari leads in a way that is welcoming, genuine, and deeply motivating. Professionally, Ari serves as Managing Director of Multifamily Acquisitions at Continental Realty Corporation, where he leads the firm's multifamily acquisitions platform across the Mid-Atlantic and Southeast. Those who know Ari professionally and communally understand that he brings the same thoughtfulness, integrity, and strategic vision to both worlds. And while Ari's accomplishments are many, what stands out most to so many of us who he is as a person. Ari is kind. I think that's so special. He's a good person and shows his kindness in so many ways. He is steady. He listens carefully. He celebrates others. He cares deeply about relationships and community, and people genuinely love working with him because of the warmth and sincerity he brings into every room and every Dunkin' Donuts conversation. Ari, your leadership has already made a profound impact on this community, and we know your influence will continue for many, many years to come. Thank you. Thank you for the countless ways you have invested your time, your energy, and your heart into Jewish Baltimore. It is my distinct pleasure, on behalf of our committee and our Baltimore Jewish community, that we recognize you, Ari Abramson, as the 2026 Joyce Rosenberg Memorial Awardee in recognition of your heart, your head, and your menschlichkeit. Mazel tov.
That was wonderful. Thank you.
Only true.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you.
My mom and dad are in the back row. Hi, parents. Melissa and me as well. My mom is waving in the back, and it's fitting because when I was told I had a chance to speak tonight, I thought I would do what anyone would do today and go to AI and say, how should I frame my remarks? What drove my commitment to be here tonight? But instead I went to a deeper source a more knowledgeable source, one that I hold in my heart, and I called my mom. I said, Mom, what should I say tonight? I have 2 minutes. She said, I have you covered. And here's what my mom wrote for me to say tonight. Here goes, Mom. When I think about what is my impact here on the Associated, it goes back to my parents, Ann and Gil Abramson, who moved to Baltimore years and years ago into a new place. But one of the first things they did is they sent in a check. And at the time, they didn't know anybody. And the first thing they did is they contributed here at the Associated. And it was an impact, right? To contribute is what we do. We support where we live, right? Thanks, Mom, for those remarks. And those words were impactful for me. And those actions were impactful. And it kind of shaped who I am today, right? We think about this is what we do, right? So thank you, Mom and Dad, for that. And then 15 years ago, I had the privilege, and I married Sarah, and I joined her family and her parents, who also live like that. We all are in it as one. And I believe in that outcome, and I believe in what we do. And tonight, it's really an honor to be here tonight and sit in front of my children, Ellie and Henry. Please stand up and give a wave here. Oh, you're 14, you can stand up. Kids, this is my hope for you, to see this. This is what we do. We give back, right? We give humbly, we lead with service. It's a commitment to what we do in Baltimore, and I'm very proud of it. So thank you, Sarah, and thank you, kids. And lastly, I'm thrilled and honored. It's a gift and a joy, and I will continue to work hard on behalf of all of you and what we can build together. So thank you.
I am pleased to present the Associated's first ever Corporate Partner of the Year award. This year, this award was created to recognize one outstanding corporate partner each year who has demonstrated their commitment to the Associated, and not just through their philanthropy, but for their overall partnership and support of our mission. The Associated's Corporate Partnership Program has been growing over recent years, and we have been very grateful for all the wonderful partners who have helped make our mission possible. And I am thrilled to be able to present this award this year to our partners at M&T Bank. To understand why M&T Bank was the first recipient of the award, we have to go back to 2006. I'm not going to go every year. I was newly appointed as the Director of Corporate Partnerships here at the Associated, trying to get the initiative off the ground and working with a group of seasoned business leaders, and we reached out to M&T Bank. It was then that they offered to host a dinner, an executive dinner in their conference room at the downtown, for us to get to know each other better and to understand our mutual goals and hopes for our community. That evening launched what has become our longest running corporate partnership. Since those initial meetings, M&T and the Associated have shared a deep commitment to Baltimore, to the Jewish community, and to each other, ensuring that our partnership thrives. They are our longest consecutive corporate partnership gift, but not just our partnership, it goes much deeper than the gift. In addition to our banking relationship, M&T encourages their employees to get involved with us as lay leaders, making space for them to come and lend their time, their talent, and over the years we have had outstanding M&T leaders on our boards and committees. We are blessed with Brad Hecht and Joanna Rombro and Scott Brown, three outstanding leaders who today are serving in various different roles in our system, and we are very grateful for them. They're leading with excellence for us, and we're very grateful for the endorsement of M&T to make sure that happens. M&T's leaders have leaned into our partnership thanks to the encouragement and support of the regional heads of the bank over the years, Woody Collins, Augie Chisera, and now Brian Walter. They have demonstrated that their commitment is not just about writing a check. It is about being a thought partner, about striving to leverage resources and showing up when needed. I would also be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the commitment that the bank has shown to its Jewish employees. Brad and Joanna launched M&T's first Jewish employee resource group, bringing together employees across M&T nationally for educational opportunities, learning about the holidays, and for all employees to understand Jewish life. They have offered support to their Jewish employees when it matters most by giving them space, especially during these most challenging days. The resource group is a source of pride for them, and we have been honored to be a small part of it. It's been 20 years since we launched that partnership, and M&T continues to be an outstanding partner for us. We are thrilled for all that they have done and continue to do for us ahead, thanks to Brian's leadership. We know it's going to continue great things. So it is now my privilege to present the inaugural Corporate Partner of the Year Award to my friends, my colleagues, my all-around good people at M&T Bank. So please join me in welcoming Brian Walter to the stage. I want to thank Greg Smith and Jason Weisberg and Scott Graham for being here. And then also he's going to be joined by Scott Brown and Brad Heck just up on the podium. So come on up and accept your award.
Thanks, Michelle. One of my colleagues said earlier, you got a tough act to follow. These are some great remarks tonight. And I said, yeah, I'm feeling a little pressure here, but thank you very much. It's great to be with you here this evening. And on behalf of M&T Bank and my colleagues that are here tonight, and people like Scott and Brad and Joanna, who unfortunately had to leave, I mean, this is really, this award reflects the efforts of a whole lot of people, and I just get the honor of kind of standing here and accepting it on behalf of the bank. And this award reflects something that we care very deeply about. It's about building deep relationships, deep partnerships, rooted in shared values and a commitment to making a difference in the community. And so it's really an honor for us to partner with the Associated, who has been having an amazing impact in the community for over 100 years. And we're especially thankful for this and proud of this recognition because it does reflect many years of work, and not just about writing checks, but about leaning in and volunteering and donating our time. And again, it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful, and I'm really excited about what's yet to come. I would also note that tonight's program is a reminder that community work is not one person or one organization. It's many hands doing the work together, and we're especially honored to be recognized tonight with so many other great leaders who are doing amazing things here. So I guess I'll close with this. The work of the Associated, it's always been important, but it's especially important right now. So we are committed to rolling up our sleeves and doing even more to support the mission. And so again, on behalf of my M&T colleagues, thank you very much for this recognition. We look forward to many years of partnering together. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. As Carol Seibel's granddaughter, I am incredibly proud to be here with my grandfather, Beanie, and my father, Stephen, to present the Carol Seibel Outstanding Fundraising Achievement Award, created in her loving memory. My grandmother, Mimi, was one of the most inspirational, dedicated, and relentless campaign leaders the Associated has ever known. She never took no for an answer, and just as importantly, she never said no when asked to take on a solicitation for the annual campaign. Her passion was contagious, her determination unshakable, and her joy in raising money for this community was absolutely genuine. While Mimi was involved in many organizations, the Associated was her pride and joy. And so to honor her legacy as one of the Associated's greatest solicitors, this award was created to recognize individuals who embody her spirit and her excellence in fundraising. To receive the Carol Seibel Award, one must show a deep and sustained commitment to the Associated as a dedicated fundraiser, engage in direct personal solicitations, those more meaningful face-to-face conversations, participate in multiple fundraising efforts throughout the year, like Super Sunday and Giving Tuesday, and never have served as campaign chair. In addition to these criteria, this year's recipient has said yes when anyone else in her situation would have said no. She said yes to being vice chair on the Women's Engagement and Philanthropic Board. She said yes to writing and delivering a Devar Torah at that first meeting. She said yes to campaign phonings. She said yes to soliciting individuals. In fact, over this past year, whenever this person was asked to show up for the Associated, she said yes. This level of commitment and dedication is supernatural. She even said yes to receiving this award, which will be accepted by her husband Jeff and her son David, who are both here with us tonight. That's how important this Jewish community and the Associated are to this individual. And speaking of never saying no, like my grandmother, when asked to be a Baltimore Hun for the General Assembly one year, of course they both said yes. As you can see in this special photo, that's my grandmother and her on your right. And now it is my family's joy and my personal honor to present Pam Platt with the 2026 Carol Seibel Outstanding Fundraising Achievement Award.
I apologize if I feel a little gun shy, but the last time a Platt stood on a stage to receive an award, things did not work out well. Before he finished the first line of his acceptance speech, the Oscar was taken away. Looking to make sure that doesn't happen here this evening. Good evening. I am deeply humbled and honored to accept the Carol Seibel Outstanding Fundraising Achievement Award on behalf of my wife, Pamela Platt. Pammy would have loved to have been here this evening and is very disappointed not to be able to join us. Congratulations to everyone who's receiving an honor here tonight. What an accomplished community we live in. The following are her words she wanted me to share with you this evening.
Carol Seibel was so much more than an extraordinary fundraiser. She was a visionary leader, a mentor, and an inspiration to generations of volunteers and community builders. The Associated honors Carol not only for her dedication and remarkable work, but for the legacy she has created, a model for her peers and a role model for all those who followed after her. Pammy, or my mother, can personally say that she was one of those people deeply influenced by her example. She had the privilege of working alongside Carol for many years, beginning as a young leadership observer at the Sinai Hospital Auxiliary. She can still remember watching her in action and thinking to herself, wow, what a dynamic, passionate, and inspirational woman. She led with strength, warmth, purpose, and an unwavering commitment to our community. Simply being in her presence inspired others to do more and be more. That is why this award carries such special meaning for my mom. To be counted in some small way as part of Carol's legacy is an extraordinary honor. As many of you know, while my mom believes deeply in the responsibility to raise financial resources for our community, much of her leadership has also focused on human resources, encouraging people to step forward, become involved, discover their own capacity to lead, and understand that every person has something valuable to contribute.
Carol has embodied that beautifully. She raised human resources simply by being herself. Her example inspired so many people to participate, to lead, and to care deeply about the future of our community in which we live. As Pammy always does, let's take a brief moment to connect this wonderful achievement with the Torah. Pammy has always learned from many different sources, both Jewish and non-Jewish, that so many things in life are viewed to be coincidences. This week's Torah portion is no exception. Its connection is but a shining example that exemplifies so much of what has allowed Pammy to achieve this meritorious award. Parshat Ba'alatoka begins with the lighting of the menorah. The flames were not simply meant to burn, they were meant to rise. The Hebrew word Ba'alatocha means when you raise up, teaching us that true light lifts up others. A shining soul is not measured by how brightly it glows for itself, but by how much warmth, hope, and courage it brings to those around it. Like the menorah in the Mishkan, every person carries a sacred flame. Some people shine through leadership, others through kindness, generosity, listening, teaching, or quiet acts of compassion. The miracle is that when one candle lights another, its own flame is never diminished. We live in a world hungry for light, for empathy, wisdom, faith, and human connection. This parshat reminds us that our role is not only to guard our own flame, but to help ignite the souls of others. A shining soul leaves traces of light wherever it goes, in words that encourage, in hands that help, in traditions passed lovingly to the next generation, and in the ability to see holiness in another person. May each of us be blessed to raise our lights high enough that others can find their way, and may our souls continue to illuminate our families, our community, and the world around us. Pammy accepts this award with gratitude, humility, and with a renewed commitment to continue the work and values that Carol represented so magnificently. Also, please tonight and every night, hold those whom you love very, very tight and close. You don't know what tomorrow's will bring. Thank you all. Thank you all very much.
John Quincy Adams quoted, "If your actions inspired others to dream more, to learn more, and to become more, you are a leader."
How to become a leader. It's simplex. It's simple and complex simultaneously.
I think some qualities of great leaders are being authentic,
Thoughtful, courageous, caring.
being proud of who you are and what you believe in,
readiness or preparation,
I'm always prepared.
showing up,
Often the most valuable leaders are the people at the end of the meeting that say, you know, I haven't said much, but here's my thought.
communications. It's important that you share your thoughts with everyone.
Passionate. Find your passion.
and being a great listener.
And last but not least, have some fun.
I think the most important part is to surround yourself by wonderful leaders.
No one leads alone.
Here at the Associated, we have so many opportunities to be leaders.
And by developing strong and thoughtful leaders, we create greater resilience, greater understanding, greater unity, and greater possibilities for our entire community.
Cultivate those who will succeed you. The transition and ability to see beyond your leadership role is crucial for the future.
Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sacks once said, "Good leaders create followers, but great leaders create leaders." The same is true for organizations and communities. This program, as Linda noted, is one of my favorite nights in Jewish Baltimore. It is a night that shows that our associated system is indeed a great system full of leaders that create leaders. You can feel how fortunate we are that we have a community of people who care passionately and lead thoughtfully through all of the challenges we face in these difficult days. Those leaders can be found across our associated system. It's a major part of what makes Baltimore such a wonderful place to be Jewish. Congratulations to all of the honorees tonight and to all of the names listed in the back of the book that show you everybody who is rotating off of a leadership role, and there are many. This is a system of leaders. I have a couple of things, as noted in the program, to do, but I want to start with 2 notes of special personal appreciation. First, Pam, we all love and appreciate you so very much. You welcomed me to Baltimore with such a loving embrace. You are the epitome of what makes our Baltimore Jewish community so special. And Ron, thank you for being an extraordinary campaign chair. Your quietly passionate style and relentless work ethic have made a very big difference this year. I also want to thank you and Stephanie for connecting so deeply with me and Sharon. We really appreciate you both in so many ways. I now have the privilege of acknowledging and thanking Ira, who still knows how to wear a tie, Malice, for his term as chair of the AJC. For this, I am bringing Sam Klein, our CFO, and Carol Taylor, our COO, up to the mic to join me. While they are coming up, I will say a few words to warm the mic up. Ira, thank you so much for bringing your business wisdom and unique charm to this important role. As we discussed a few months ago, you really made a difference in your term, thoughtfully steering us through a lot of complexity. You have a unique and much appreciated way of cutting through tough issues and making the right course of action clear. On a personal note, we all know how hard this term was for you, with your beloved Shelley's passing in September of 24, just as you were getting started in this role. Somehow you managed to mourn her and support us all. We appreciate you so much for all you are and all you do.
Thank you, Andrew. First, I would like to congratulate all of our awardees tonight. Well deserved. It's really an amazing sight to see. If you don't know me, my name is Sam Klein. I am the Chief Financial Officer of the Associated, and I am still the new person in the room. I say this only to give admiration and praise to Ira, who has welcomed me into this organization, into this community with open arms. He has truly been an inspiration and a mentor to me. So with that, we all want to thank you, Ira, for your steady and thoughtful leadership as the chair of the AJC, as well as your countless other leadership roles throughout the last 25, 30, 40 years. As I mentioned, as a new person here, you were always there to support me and educate me about all things associated. I truly appreciate your collaborative spirit and your insight you brought to every discussion and decision. When times were difficult, you had a calming and logical voice. Your dedication to the Associated is palpable, and you're a constant force in your support of this organization in your words and your actions. You'll have an indelible impact in ways that will last well into the future. And we're also looking for many different ways to keep you involved in the future. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Carol Taylor, Chief Operating Officer of the Associated. As Sam said, Ira, your leadership over these past 2 years has been a great deal to all of us. Although I have worked at the Associated for many, many years, the AJC board and real estate portfolio is new to me in these past 22 months. And it was an especially busy and consequential time, particularly on the real estate front. Thank you for your partnership on the Goldsmith campus redevelopment, a complex and truly transformative, did I say complex? Project that will serve our community for generations. This project was going on during your entire tenure, and you are not just board leader, but a real partner to all of us. Generous with your time, your perspective, your support, and it made a difference to all of us every step of the way. Equally important, you have been a tireless champion of the Associated. You lead not just with words, but through your actions and through the way you personally encourage others. Whether making a gift, donating appreciated stock, or establishing a donor advised fund, your message has always been clear. Each of us have a role to play in strengthening this system. And I can't think of a meeting when Ira didn't remind us all at the end about the role that we play and the importance of our gifts and donating stock to the system. Thank you for everything you've given and for the example you've set for all of us. And we're grateful that this isn't the end of your involvement, but hopefully just a new chapter. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Andrew, I'm so glad that you mentioned Shelley, because I didn't know that I was going to be able to get through it. So I'm going to go past that part. Yeah, I mean, taking this position after going through what we had gone through with my wife and then having her pass was a tough time to take this job with the responsibilities that came with it. I was able to do that because in this job there's 3 committees that report up to the head of the AJC. And they're led by lay people and professionals that are unbelievable. I'm just going to, because a lot of people don't realize the difference between what I did and what Bruce did. He does a lot more. I had 3 committees report up to me. Elise Morris and Jackie Yar led the administration committee. Mark Rembaum, Yankee Shore, Bob Manikin, along with Ben Gershowitz and Carol Taylor on the real estate side. And on the investment side with Kim Golden and Carmen Izawi did the investment side. They were just amazing and made it very easy for someone who was kind of struggling a little bit at the beginning. In addition, you know, Sam and Valerie and Carol, just amazing people to work with. I'd also be remiss if I didn't mention Fritzie Halleck, who I think is here. Fritzie, whenever, and she had had this job in the past, but even more than that, whenever there was a question or an issue, just to have her counsel was amazing. I would just like to close by saying, in addition, the people that I work with here, I've been blessed in my career both in capital markets and being on the board of directors of a multi-billion-dollar company. I've been involved with some really sharp people, but the people that I've worked with here would compare favorably to any of those people. We're blessed with top-notch people, both internally and externally, that are bringing these committees to life. And I would like to close by again thanking these people who made this happen, and also wishing PJ Pearlstone, who's going to succeed me in this, the best of success, knowing that he'll be fabulous at it, and knowing he has amazing people to work with, and he'll be in great hands. Thank you very much.
And now I get to talk about Bruce Hoffberger. Bruce, there's a special bond that develops between a CEO and a board chair, especially a great board chair and a new-to-town, first-time CEO. Bruce, I don't think I could ever thank you enough for your leadership of the Associated and your support of me. We have handled a lot of complicated issues together, from financial challenges to HR issues, to our move to this building, to our whole Reset to Grow process, which was a comprehensive look at everything the Associated and the system do and what we can afford to do. A lot of significant change in just 2 years. Your steady, thoughtful, and debonair hand was so much appreciated. You taught me what I needed to know, and you gently guided me as I learned just how different things can sometimes be in this wonderful city of Baltimore. You also kept your attention on what was most important and made sure we all did as well. You care so deeply about our beloved Baltimore Jewish community, and that care is evident in working with you every day. I don't mean to say you don't have opinions. You certainly do. But you also have a way of making sure we keep thinking about the big picture, what really matters. And as much as I truly hate to admit it, I have also grown to appreciate your dry wit. You really are very funny. As I think about your term, I also will always think about the leadership mission to Israel that you led for us last February. As Israel was struggling and at war, you inspired a great group of leaders to go to Israel to show our support and learn about our work. It was a very special and very important trip that wouldn't have happened without your leadership. And I hereby once again publicly apologize for overbooking the schedule so much that there was no time to rest or shop. I also, in much deeper seriousness, have to acknowledge how amazing you have been in supporting Karen as she has dealt with all of the challenges of her stroke. You are truly a role model to us all. You have taken such great care of her, and you have kept up your leadership of the Associated. I honestly don't know how you do it all. We wish her strength as her healing continues, and we so wish she could have been here tonight. She is your biggest fan, and we all know why. Bruce, you're a mensch, and I'm so honored to be the one who gets to begin to thank you on behalf of the whole community this evening. To continue, it's my pleasure to invite your daughter, Corey Hofberger, up to share some thoughts.
Good evening, everyone. It's a privilege to stand before you tonight and recognize my dad as he concludes his service as chair of the board of the Associated. Before I begin, I also want to recognize Karen, my stepmother. She wishes she could be here tonight, and we all wish her the very best as she continues her recovery. Thank you to everyone in this room for your warm wishes, care, and support for her and our family. It means more than you ever will know. For those who know my dad well, this moment is not simply the culmination of leadership role, it is the continuation of a lifelong commitment to community, service, and responsibility. He has always believed that when you have the ability to make a difference, you have an obligation to do so. His tenure as chair came during a period of extraordinary challenge, from rising anti-Semitism and increasing polarization to the aftermath of October 7th, in an increasingly complex geopolitical landscape. Our community has faced uncertainty, anxiety, and adversity unlike anything many of us have ever experienced before. Through it all, he provides steady leadership, thoughtful perspective, and a reassuring presence when it was needed most. What has guided him throughout has been a clear vision to ensure the long-term sustainability and resiliency of the Associated, its partner agencies, and the broader Jewish community. One of the most important examples of that forward-looking leadership has been his support and strong transition into the future. He played a key role in welcoming Andrew as CEO, helping ensure confidence and momentum for this organization. His partnership and support has helped the Associated for continued success under Andrew's leadership, reflecting his belief that great stewardship means preparing the next generation of leaders to thrive. Dad, during your time as chair, you contributed countless hours to meetings. I'm unsure if you have counted, but I know you do not like meetings, and many people in this room know. Attended many events, made difficult decisions, and demonstrated an unwavering commitment to this community. Your leadership has helped ensure that the Associated remains strong and positioned to serve Jewish Baltimore for generations to come. On behalf of Karen, my brother Brett, his wife Natalie, Marty, and myself, we are incredibly proud of you and grateful for the example you have set. Please join in celebrating my father and thanking him for his extraordinary leadership to the Associated.
Thank you all. You know, as the lame duck chair of the board, I get to close the meeting, but I have a few remarks I'd just like to share that are not on the notes provided previously. First off, it's been an honor and a privilege to work with many of you during my 50 years of volunteering with the Associated. All got started in young leadership way back in the 70s. You should know that I had no intention at all of ever becoming your chair. No intention at all. But Mark Terrell, the guy this room's named after, kept dogging me for more than a decade. And I'm glad I accepted, okay? I'm pleased about the creation, design, and function of this Goldsmith campus. Wonderful. And also our new Center for Countering Anti-Semitism and Hate. It's so important we got that one off the ground, and it's really doing a great job already. As you already know, 24% of our Jews here in Baltimore are basically living day to day financially. And the Associated has made substantial progress to relieve some of their stress. Also, names like Andrew Kushner, Michelle Gordon, Sam Klein, Carol Taylor, Ruth Miller, Jason Blavitt, Michelle Ostroff, just make me smile. They get the job done. Our Reset to Grow strategy that Andrew mentioned, and also our tactics and actual real actions are no longer just words, but really, they're really helping us to eliminate our legacy of financial structural deficits. Congratulations to a job well done to Ron Atman, wherever Ron's sitting, PJ Curlstone, and Ira Malice. You've really moved the bar. And more sincerely, Pete Sachs, our new chair of the board, in just 28 days, we are in good hands. And I could not forget, Corey's already covered this, but I could not forget to mention my gorgeous wife, who unfortunately cannot be here, but I believe she's going to be watching the recording of this a little later. Corey, Marty, Brett, Natalie, you're great, just a great family. Now, before I conclude, I said it's always nice to have a little fun thing. Is Bob Manikin still here? Okay, Bobby, a question for you. When the hallway that you enter to come all the way down here, is that level?
I need a few drinks to answer that question.
No, it's a yes or no. Is it level?
Yes, it's level.
Okay, that's good, because earlier this evening, I asked some of our staff members standing out there, we could create a little bowling alley down here. I mean, it's long enough. You just set up some pins and a little, what do you think?
I'm with you.
It's cheaper than a swimming pool.
That's true, and it's already paid for.
Okay. So all in favor of the bowling alley? All right. Okay. It says wrap up the program. Thank you all for your support, and to all the leaders that we've made that make the Associated's mission possible. And thank you all for your ongoing commitment to our community. On behalf of everyone at the Associated, thank you for being here tonight. Have a great evening, and I think dessert awaits you out in the hallway. Thanks again.